So, Ginger,
Yeah?
you know how we wanted to start a podcast, but we were having trouble coming up with a topic?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my pitch. The topic of the podcast is us trying to come up with the topic for the podcast.
What? Like we pitch each other podcast ideas and that's the podcast?
Yeah, exactly. We could call it, What Should Our Podcast Be About?
Miles, that's really stupid. Let's do it.
What should this song be about? I'm trying to figure it out. What should this song be about? Could you perhaps help me out? I've had a moment of doubt. What should this song be about? Welcome to What Should Our Podcast Be About? The podcast where we try to figure out what this podcast that you're listening to right now should be about. I'm Miles Grover.
And I'm Ginger Barham.
I have actually quite a few updates from last time.
No, I'm not interested.
Well, it's too bad for you. And too bad for the listeners.
Hope you like updates.
So the first thing actually that I wanted to talk about is I realized that our clever plan to have a secret thing in the outro that you need to hear and then do a comment doesn't really work if people aren't already making it to the outro. So we should mention it as a thing in the main part of the podcast.
Oh, listen to the end.
Yes. So if you listen to the end, every week we're going to have a different secret phrase that we come up with in the outro. And that phrase, if you are the first person to comment it on either YouTube or Spotify or whatever, any place that you can comment, I guess, that we are likely to see it, then we will shout you out on the podcast next week, the following week. And
Nope, only next week specifically.
yeah,
We will give you a shout out.
we'll give you a shout out on the following episode, and I will draw you a picture of something if you want.
And I will sing you a little song.
Oh, well, now Ginger's making promises.
Maybe.
She's writing checks she's probably not going to cash, but
I can sing a song. I'll just sing it to the tune of Frere Jacques.
every time.
Yeah, every time.
Well, then we'll hold you to that, I guess. So if you are the first person to comment, you might get a drawing if you want one, and you will get a little song regardless of whether you want one, I guess. And so that is
Actually, if you don't want one, it's going to be even more fun for me.
right, exactly. Yeah. So now people hopefully who are listening to at least the first few minutes of the podcast will know that this is a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. That was the first thing. Another thing was a sad thing, which is we briefly talked about Troll 2 yesterday, or in the last episode. Which is a bad movie from 1990, I believe.
Are you going to give me some sad news? Did someone pass away?
Yes. So my favorite character, and I think yours probably too, from the movie is Credence Leonore Gielgud.
No.
And she was played by...
Say it ain't so.
She was played by an actress named Deborah Reed, and it turns out Deborah Reed died last year on Rory's birthday.
What a terrible birthday gift.
Yeah, it's sad.
Oh.
I mean, Rory obviously hasn't seen Troll 2 or anything, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's sad.
Well,
I wanted
that's
to just
very sad.
Give her a little tribute because she's great, or in that movie at least. I don't know anything else about her. Hopefully she wasn't a bad
She was
person.
the star of that movie.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
She knew what movie she was in,
Yeah.
and she embraced it with frantic drama kid energy.
Yeah, for sure. And that is a very ridiculous movie if you haven't seen it. The popcorn scene is
Beautiful.
apparently, I listened to a brief interview with her. Apparently that was the first thing she filmed as part of that movie.
That makes me love her even more.
Which is wild, yeah. And the director of that movie was Italian and did not really speak English.
Yeah.
And so she just did that because that's how she thought it should be done, basically. Her whole performance. Everybody's whole performance, I guess, basically. But
Yeah. And if you've ever, the interviews I've heard with him, he seems like a real douche.
yeah, we watched there's a documentary about it called The Best Worst Movie.
His
And
wife
yeah.
seems terrible too. They both seem terrible.
Yeah. And like he didn't even really seem to understand when people were like, why is the movie called Troll and it's about goblins and stuff like that. So yeah, that's an interesting documentary as well. It's made by one of the people in the movie.
Yeah.
The kid, I think, right? The kid that pisses on hospitality.
Was it the kid?
I think so.
I thought it was the dad.
No, the dad was kind of a main feature of it, but he wasn't.
Oh, the kid made the documentary.
Made the documentary,
Okay.
yeah. So that's that. Sad news, but shout out to our queen, Deborah Reed.
Our queen.
Our goblin queen.
Our goblin queen.
Okay, another thing, just real quick, is I mentioned last week that I've seen buff Furbies online, and then I Googled it, and I would recommend maybe don't
Google
don't
buff
Google it
Furbies.
unless you want to see some leather daddy Furbies.
If you already did, we're sorry.
Yeah. I mean, maybe do Google it, but just know you shouldn't Google it. But
Just
maybe
know
do
what you're
anyway.
getting into.
Yeah.
Just know what you're getting into.
Another thing is we were talking about Mary, and Mary, Merry, Marry, and Mary.
Yeah, it's a much more boring game than Marry, Fuck, Kill.
Yes, you're just marrying one woman named Mary who's quite jolly.
Yeah.
But we were confused about how people could possibly say those differently, and I figured out part of it. I don't know how people say the name Mary differently, really, but I understand the difference between Mary with an E and Mary with an A and two R's. Think about how Scottish people would say it, right? Mary,
Mary?
Mary,
Mary.
Mary, Mary. So, and people who aren't Scottish also say Mary versus Mary, right? Or think about the guy in
Versus Maori.
Maori.
Maori? Is that how you say it?
Like the people in New Zealand, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Maori.
it's Maori.
It's Maori, yeah. It's spelled like Maori, but
Unless
it's
you're me,
Maori.
and then it's Maori. Some people, I'm probably not the only one that says Maori.
Probably not, but the people who are Maori say Maori.
Yeah.
Maori Povich. Is that anything?
Maori is what brings us together.
Well, that's what I was going to say, actually. That guy, if you think about, I think that the guy that's like Mowage, is that in Princess Bride?
Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like there's also a similar guy in Spaceballs.
I don't remember because I've not seen Spaceballs nearly as many times as I've seen Princess Bride.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyway, in Princess Bride, the guy's like Mowage, right?
Yeah.
So that's the vowel we're talking about, right? Marriage, not
Maui.
Marriage. Like versus basically.
Yes. Very interesting.
Vowie. Yeah. So there's that. And I guess people say the name Mary with like a little bit of a longer vowel, Mary or something. I don't know. That one I'm still confused about. But so I just thought if anyone was curious how you say those words differently, it's Mary and Marry.
If you were curious, now you know.
One more little thing is we were talking about vampires. And I was trying to remember.
Vampires. I was trying to say it with a wobble. Didn't work.
With a
Moving
what?
on. I was trying to say it with a wobble.
What's a wobble?
When you talk like Mowage.
That's called a wobble?
You've never heard that called a wobble?
No.
Jenny always called it a wobble.
Oh.
My friend Jenny always called it a wobble.
If you-
I assume she didn't make that up.
Like if you don't say your R's right? Or,
Yeah.
like, basically? Huh.
Yeah, wobble.
Huh, never heard that. Anyway, so we were talking about vampires. And
There you go. That's what I was going for.
and I was trying to remember something I had seen before was talking about sort of the same idea I was talking about, and I couldn't remember it to try to credit it, which was that, with What We Do in the Shadows, they lean really hard on the stereotypical vampire stuff. And I realized as I was editing it that there was a Thought Slime video on YouTube where he was rating vampires and different stuff, and he talked about that. So just wanted to credit Thought Slime on YouTube. He's got a pretty good channel if you're looking for stuff to watch on
I feel
YouTube.
like we haven't watched his channel in a long time.
Yeah, we haven't in a little while.
I feel like I haven't seen it pop up.
Yeah, I think he started putting out videos less often or something, or maybe they just aren't showing up in our feed for some reason. But
Yeah.
anyway, I think that's everything that I had, but it does lead into my first idea this week, which is we do a podcast of YouTuber reviews and recommendations.
All right.
We watch quite a bit of YouTube already.
Yeah. I feel like we would have to branch out because we do kind of watch the same channels.
We watch the same channels, but we watch probably at least like a dozen different channels over and
Yeah.
over again. But we could at least for one episode at least we wouldn't have to branch out yet.
Yeah.
And we could talk about like we watched
Frank.
Zay Frank, yep. I love him, his True Fact series. We watch Hassan Piker for Hasanabi for like leftist content. Thought Slime's also a leftist creator.
We don't watch any right wing creators unless it's left wing creators making fun of right wing creators.
Or I guess if they were secretly right wing, maybe we wouldn't know. But
Well, that wouldn't happen because leftist grifting is not profitable.
yeah, true. We watch Chad. She's got a fun channel. We watch Tara Mooney,
Not just bikes.
not just bikes for like urbanism stuff. City Nerd sometimes as well.
Jenny Nicholson. I feel like everybody knows about Jenny Nicholson already.
Yeah. And also, we haven't watched her in a while because I feel like she puts out like one video a year and it's 4 hours long. And speaking of that, we also watched H-Bomber Guy.
ContraPoints. Speaking of 4-hour-long videos.
Yeah, who only puts out once or twice a year.
Yeah.
And H-Bomber Guy's last video was 4 hours, and we did watch it.
We did watch all of it, and it was
good. And then
it
we
was
watched,
good, and then it was awful too.
Yeah, and then we also watched another video of his previous video, which was 2 hours, 2.5 hours long or something. So
not awful because it was 4 hours long.
No,
awful because the content
what
was
he
depressing.
uncovered. Yeah.
It was not his fault.
So don't watch James Somerton, I guess, if you even can anymore.
Yeah. Now I feel like he tried to make a comeback, then he disappeared again.
Well, and he pretended to commit suicide.
Yeah.
While horny posting on his alt account.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I knew about that part.
Yeah, he apparently was like
maybe we could cover YouTube drama too.
Yeah, and I do follow the YouTube drama subreddit, and I don't know what most of the things are even talking about, because the one thing about this is that there is so much stuff on YouTube, so many huge creators with millions of followers that we don't know even a single thing about.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never watched a Jake or Logan Paul video.
Yeah.
Right. I've never watched a PewDiePie video either. I don't know if he's even still big anymore.
Didn't he do some Nazi shit?
He did. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said the N-word during a heated gamer moment, and he paid people as a joke to hold up signs saying death to Jews or something like that. It's a bunch of stupid shit. There's a great Onion article that's like, during heated gamer moment, PewDiePie puts on full KKK regalia or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So there's tons of stuff. I mean, obviously we watch a lot of Miss Rachel. We talk about kids YouTube and stuff on there.
Evan and Caitlin.
Yep.
Which are not like kids YouTube per se, but
Svetlana
more kid more kid friendly for sure.
More kid friendly than some of the stuff we watch, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watch a bunch of different video game stream guys.
I watch a lot of Chapel Roan videos.
Yes.
So
and I get recommended those sometimes.
You're welcome.
We could also talk about what crazy stuff we saw on Shorts, because Shorts is really pretty random stuff a lot of times, and some of it's interesting and some of it's like, why did I watch that?
Yeah.
We could also look at, it's not YouTube, but on Facebook, there's Reels, which I guess are different than the ones on Instagram. I don't know. But anyway, whenever I go on Facebook, I get shown a bunch of Reels and they look like they could be interesting. And then I click on them and they end way too early, or they weren't remotely as interesting as they look like they would be every time. And every time I'm like, I'm not going to look at Reels again. And then I see one, I'm like, oh, maybe that one will be interesting.
On Facebook?
On Facebook.
Yeah.
And it's not.
They end too early?
Yeah, it'll be showing somebody, making a piece of art or something, or making candy in a big weird machine, but it'll end halfway through the process, and you don't get to see the final thing or whatever. Or stuff like that, or it'll be one of those crushing machine things where it's crushing a can, or I don't know, whatever, and then it'll turn out nothing really happens.
I just think it's interesting that you have that problem on Facebook, because I feel like I have that problem on Instagram because they have a 1 minute limit.
Yeah, I think Facebook does too. Well, so does YouTube though, for Shorts.
But for Reels, I feel like I've watched Reels longer than a minute.
On Facebook?
Yeah, maybe not. Anyway.
Point is, the Facebook Reels always get me, and they're always bad. So that we could talk about that maybe. I guess I don't really watch Reels or anything on Instagram. I just look at pictures very occasionally. So
I'm big on the stories on Instagram, and a lot of Reels get shared on there.
Yeah,
so. Yeah, I know. You never even see my Instagram stories, and I post some bangers.
Yeah, I just don't. I hardly look at Instagram except when I'm posting a comic or something.
Yeah.
And then I'll maybe look around a bit, but
it's interesting because I feel like Instagram is more of a younger generation thing, and you're younger than me, but I'm the Instagram junkie in the house.
Yeah, I'm younger than you by a couple of years, but
yeah,
it's also
You might be older than me in spirit, though.
Okay, sure. I think it's also, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's also more common for women to use it than men. I would guess that the demographics are further towards women than men on Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that might be true.
Yeah. Anyway, so I guess the idea is a video sharing website.
I mean, the world is waiting for more of your sundial pictures.
I'm up to 3, maybe 4 pictures on my Instagram now. Because I posted our skeleton, and I posted one other thing more recently. What was it? Oh yeah, I posted my more like Madison Round Garden.
Oh right,
picture.
right. I think for Halloween we should come up with a name for our skeleton. We could do a special Halloween episode of the podcast.
Are we talking about this again?
Yes.
Okay. We don't like Boney Soprano or whatever.
Wait, I still am leaning towards Boney Mitchell.
Boney Mitchell, fine. It's fine.
All right.
I still like Skeletal Walter. Or Thomas Bones.
Thomas Bones is pretty good. Maybe we'll take a vote.
I think Thomas Bones is even more more difficult to explain to somebody than Skeletal Walter.
Could we give him a middle initial?
Like David S. Pumpkins.
Yeah, Thomas S. Bones.
Thomas
The S stands for skeleton.
Skeleton Bones.
It's good. Thomas S. Bones.
Thomas S. Bones. Okay. Well,
Now he has a middle initial?
I don't think that solves your problem of when the neighbors ask what he's called, you say Thomas S. Bones. I mean, I guess they'll be like, okay.
I could just say
he's a
Thomas Bones, and I think that they'll get it. But
Well, they won't get
they won't call him Skeleton Walter.
Right. I guess we could just call him Mr. Bones.
Mr. Bones. Thomas S. Bones.
Thomas S. Bones.
Esquire.
He's a lawyer now.
Is that what Esquire means?
Yeah.
I was just like, what's the fanciest title I can think of? Yes, he was a lawyer.
Is he a lawyer? Well, did he become a lawyer after he became a skeleton, or was he a lawyer in life?
He became a lawyer after he died because he was like, this should have been illegal. I was meant to live forever.
Oh, okay. Maybe he's really well versed in bone law, whatever that is.
Bone law.
Bone law. So maybe we could have an episode where we come up with the lore behind our skeleton.
Thomas S. Bones, Esquire.
Okay.
Or he could be Thomas S. Bones III.
Descended from several skeletons, a whole line of skeletons, which I guess we all are, sort of.
Yeah.
Okay, is that an idea you're putting forward for the podcast?
We can, yes, but this will be for our Halloween spectacular.
Okay, so not yet.
Not yet.
A podcast
Coming soon.
about future podcast
A
ideas.
podcast where we say coming soon. Isn't that this podcast already though?
Yeah,
Kinda?
yeah, pretty much, yeah. All right, well, that was a few ideas, I guess, there. Do you have other ideas, or should I talk about more ideas? Our cat Sock was just meowing really loudly, and so I wrote down a podcast about cat food reviews.
Reviews from our cats.
Catalog, yeah, well, sort of indirectly, like, well, this one made Sock poop. Well, this one made Sock poop, but it was a different color.
I don't want to do that. Don't want to
Well,
do
I mean,
that.
that's our life anyway, so
Yeah,
might as well
this
make
is
a
why we always
podcast
stick
about it.
with the same cat food.
Yeah.
I did a lot of science. A lot of cat science.
Cat Science,
A
the
lot of cat
podcast.
science.
Podcast, Cat Science.
That's where we just knock over cups and describe it. A podcast where we review local playgrounds.
Okay.
And this may just be because we were going to go to a playground today. That's a pretty cool one.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking there are some really crappy ones and there are some really good ones.
Yeah, and there's really different. They're really different in a lot of different ways, right? There's the one that's kind of in the big park nearby that's just like, it's got a bunch of stuff, but it's all really weirdly spaced out
Yeah.
and stuff.
They've got a new one coming fall next year. So
Right.
That's
So
exciting.
we'd keep up on that, the news
Yeah.
of that for this
Yeah.
playground podcast.
Yeah, playground updates. The one we're going to today is a fenced one.
The whole thing is fenced, so Rory can't escape to
He
the
can't
street.
escape. But he can still run in front of people that are on the swings, which is his
Yeah.
favorite thing to do. So we still have to follow him around, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's got like swings on zip lines. It's got all kinds of cool like
Yeah,
climbing
it's got some pretty cool stuff.
structures.
Yeah. Big slides and stuff.
Big slides, a little tiny tree house or
Oh,
like
yeah.
little clubhouse.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not a tree house, a little clubhouse.
So it's got some slides that are like pointed down a hill. So like you
Yeah.
come out of the slide and you're like going downhill.
yeah.
Which seems like maybe fun or maybe a bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some big kid things and some little kid things there. But
God,
yeah.
can you imagine Rory going down that and then just tumbling down the whole hill?
Oh,
Oh, he'd probably be okay, but
he'd probably be going, no.
yeah. He's been getting back to our Rory Doing Cute Things podcast idea. He's been very cute lately with he's been saying no a lot in his cute little voice.
No. And he said it when he was going down the slide at the playground the other day.
Yeah, because he was going a
changed
little
his
bit too
mind
fast down.
halfway
He was like,
down.
"No." Yeah.
No.
Because he went down the big slide. That
the big metal one.
can be a little
Very
fast.
slick.
Yeah.
No. No shade to all the other babies in the world, but we have the cutest baby.
We have the cutest one. A little bit of shade to other babies.
A little bit of shade to other babies.
But he's also taken to like, if I'm watching something on YouTube and he wants me to change it to Miss Rachel, he'll be like, no. And then he'll try to grab the remote.
He does that to me too when I'm turning on Drag Race. But then he usually changes his mind as soon as the intro comes on.
Oh, yeah.
Because he really likes the theme song for Drag Race. He's also been playing with my makeup a lot. So maybe we got a future drag star on our hands.
Okay.
I wouldn't be mad about it.
Yeah. Or maybe we have a future clown on our hands. Because as we have discovered, drag is just gender clowning, basically, right?
Yeah. I would much rather go see a drag queen than a clown, but I will support my son's dreams no matter what.
I mean, I've seen drag queens that literally are also clowns, like doing clown stuff as drag, like literal regular clown stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
They're very closely related, I think, especially like not clowns for children's birthday parties and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like more adult clowning.
Drag queens have to like do choreography and learn to lip sync.
Yeah, clowns got to juggle and stuff, right? Like,
yeah.
There's a bunch of skills you got to learn either way, and therefore entertaining people by putting on a big silly show.
Are you a clown guy? You like clowns?
I don't know. I'm sort of ambivalent. I do get the like creepy clown thing because a lot of them are creepy and there's a certain creepiness to it sort of inherently. But I think there's
and
cool.
also just cheesy.
Yeah, I think there's cool clown stuff too, though.
Yeah, I just generally don't find clowns to be as funny as drag queens.
Well, sure. But I mean, that's kind of just, I feel like, the same kind of thing where like a joke from the 50s isn't as funny as modern jokes are, right? Like, I feel like in some ways, drag is kind of like modernized clowning in some ways. You know what I mean? Like, I just flew in from New York and Boy Are My Arms Tired was hilarious at some point. But we've heard it and humor has moved on.
But drag queens have like fashion going on too.
You think clowns don't got fashion?
No.
Well, they don't got like regular people fashion at all, but neither do a lot of the drag queens. Like, you know, that one drag queen we were just watching the thing, she had like 2 heads and like, you know, a whole crazy.
Okay, there is some that is more clown than other, but like, but like
or
there
like
also are like dresses where I'm like, I would wear the shit out of that dress.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure.
I never see a clown where I'm like, I would wear the shit out of that outfit.
Okay, well, that might be a difference between you and me. Because there's probably some clown stuff I would dig on as far as outfits go.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't probably wear the really big shoes or the, you know,
the red nose.
Well, definitely not the red nose or like the flower that squirts, whatever.
I enjoy the drag queen. Like, I would take makeup tips from a drag queen before I would take makeup tips from a clown.
Right, because you're not trying to do a clown makeup.
Well, there's
but you're
separation is what I'm saying.
But you're also not trying to do the really wild drag makeup, right? Again, there's a spectrum, I think, of drag.
But I would do the wild drag makeup before I would do the clown makeup.
I guess.
Yeah.
But the Joker has drip. That purple suit is pretty sweet, right?
Has drip?
Yeah, you don't know what that means?
No.
Oh, he's got fashion sense. He's got a good fashion
Is
sense.
this a new word the kids are saying?
New as in probably a year or two, maybe more?
I don't like it.
Okay.
It makes me think of drippy. Drippy things are not usually like good.
Well, I don't know what the etymology of it is, but
I don't like it.
it's a thing.
Like, I'll get on board with Riz. I don't think I can get on board with drip.
I'm pretty sure that I've heard the drag queen say it on Drag Race too.
Well, I don't remember that. But even if they did, I don't like it.
Yeah, okay, fine. But regardless, there's some jokers with pretty good fashion, I would say.
Are you speaking as a joker yourself?
No, I mean as the Joker.
I know.
Yeah.
As a joker yourself. I was making it.
Yeah. No, I didn't get it. Can you explain it?
No.
Like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker has a pretty good suit at one point. The like Batman animated series Joker had a cool purple suit.
Yeah.
Some of the Jokers less so. The Jared Leto Joker not so much.
I never saw it.
The Suicide Squad.
No, I didn't watch it. I heard enough terrible things to avoid it.
You've seen him as the Joker?
I've seen him as the Joker. I don't particularly remember what he was.
He's got like tattoos all over his face and like.
Oh yeah. He's like emo Joker.
He's like emo gangster Joker or something weird. I don't know. He's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, he did bad things too, didn't he? During the filming.
Yeah, supposedly he like put like used condoms and people like mailed it people used condoms or something as a hilarious Joker prank, I guess. I don't know. I don't really care. He was bad in those movies are very bad. Point being that you can be a clown and have cool fashion potentially.
A podcast where we argue about drag queens versus clowns.
Yep.
You probably know more about clowns and I probably know more about drag queens.
You probably know more about drag queens than I know more about clowns.
Yeah.
Than you, if that made sense.
That made sense.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even remember what my original idea was. Oh yeah, review parks.
Yes. Reviewing playgrounds.
Reviewing playgrounds.
How do we get to clowns? Doesn't
I'm
matter.
not sure.
Doesn't
Who
matter.
knows? You'll find out in the edit.
Yeah, I guess so. All right. Well, that's an idea. I think that could be fun, I guess. I don't know how interesting it would be for listeners, but
Yeah. Yeah. A podcast where we go look at houses and describe how awesome or crappy they were.
okay. I was thinking, yeah, we could do some kind of Zillow Gone Wild style-ish
Yeah.
thing.
We went to look at a real stinker the other day.
Yeah, we sure did. I mean, it seemed okay. It seemed like
It seemed okay in the pictures.
in the pictures it seemed okay, and it did not remotely live up to even okay.
Yeah. It was falling apart and they wanted like $360,000 for it.
Right.
Which I guess was because it had a lot of space, but like
it's big and it's got a backyard and stuff.
but a backyard that was like off of a parking lot. It was also off a really busy road.
Yeah, it had a 2-car garage, which we didn't get to look inside really, but I kind of looked in the windows. There was a literal pile of hay
Yeah.
in there. There was a toilet in there. I don't know what was going on with that garage, but
$359,000 for Albany is up there actually. Like it's not like like
it's cheapish, and it's in an okay area if you ignore the fact that it's right off the main road, and so it's pretty loud there. But like location wise, it's pretty central to stuff.
I would say like $250,000 would be more reasonable for a house like that.
Yeah, if they
There were balloons plastered to the melted to the floor.
That was really strange. One of the rooms seemed to have a bunch of balloons melted to the floor.
Yeah.
How does that even happen?
Like, if your house is in that kind of disrepair, you got to sell it cheap or you got to fix it up.
Yeah, you'd think one or the other.
Yeah.
And they probably will, because I'm sure they'll have to drop the price before anyone buys it. I mean, if they dropped the price $100,000, we would consider maybe, right?
If it wasn't on such a busy road.
Yeah. I mean,
we have a toddler.
yeah. I mean, we'd have to put in some kind of fence to keep him in the backyard or whatever, probably.
Yeah.
Which we have to do here too, but
We do, but like we're not on a crazy busy road here either.
Yeah.
I don't really want to live on a busy road. It isn't in between two hospitals too.
it is between
It's
two
got a
hospitals.
lot of ticks in the negative column.
It is right across, like a block away from one of the restaurants you really like around here, though.
Yeah. I mean, that's nice, but it's
not enough
it's
to
not
make
enough.
up for it. Yeah, I agree.
It's not enough.
And it had like 4 bathrooms, but they were all bad. Like it didn't have any good bathrooms, which
Yeah,
was
they
kind of
were
weird.
like I thought our bathrooms were not great, which like they need some fixing up. But like it did make me appreciate the house that we're in. Seeing that house.
There was a bathroom that's, supposedly a half bath, which is more like a quarter bath at most,
Yeah.
maybe an eighth bath, because like I could barely fit in that room.
Yeah.
Let alone comfortably sit on the toilet there.
Oh, yeah, and we have a really tiny bathroom here that I thought was ridiculously
Yeah.
small, but
This
like
one was, did it even have a sink in it? Or maybe
it
just
had a
barely
little
tiny sink.
pedestal sink.
Yeah. And then there's a toilet in the attic, which is like a little extra room area, not like a, storage attic type thing. But it's like a dusty mustard yellow. And 2, it's like a corner toilet. So it's built so that it fits in a corner,
Yeah.
which is pretty weird. Also a full tub in there, not a shower, but a tub.
Yeah, and that's the only tub.
Was it the only
That was
tub?
the
I
only
think you're
tub.
right. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're right. The rest of the bathrooms only had showers.
Yeah. It was really a weird setup.
Yeah.
And then it was like all musty and kind of gross down in the basement, which is like
The basement was finished, but
it had a lot of space, but a lot of that space was in the basement.
yeah, it had a fair amount of space otherwise too, but yeah, and the basement's finished, and had a whole bathroom with a shower and stuff, but the ceilings are real low.
Yeah, they had the like office acoustic ceilings down
Yeah,
there
like
too.
the acoustic tile type ceilings, and that was where the melted balloons were.
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, really. I mean, it must have been a rental that they just didn't keep up. Which I think our place that it was a rental as well, but clearly they kept it up more.
A little bit better, yeah. I don't think they were They must have been cramming a lot of people in that house for a rental. I feel like.
Yeah, one of the bedrooms had a sink in it,
Oh yeah, like the main biggest bedroom had a sink in it, like a
that's weird.
whole
just a whole pedestal
vanity.
sink.
No,
yeah.
it wasn't a pedestal. It was a cabinet thing
Oh yeah, you're right. It was
with a mirror on it and everything.
yeah. So
Okay, so that's our that's our house, looking at house idea.
yeah.
We also could go look at, there's another house we were considering.
Ugh.
Huge,
I can't talk
amazing,
about it.
gorgeous house. like Victorian, like out the wazoo, crazy huge mansion
Beautiful, definitely haunted.
house. Maybe
like,
haunted.
So good.
But it's in Little Falls, New York, which is an hour plus, a little more than an hour away.
Yeah.
Which like might be doable since I work at home, and like it wouldn't be that bad to drive an hour to see Svetlana, I guess, but it'd be pretty far out there. It looked like a cute little town maybe, but anyway,
Yeah.
the house is great, but it's
And
huge.
super cheap for like how much? It was like
Yeah.
5,800 square feet or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a mansion. We'd have to
Yeah, it's a little
find
more
someone to buy it with us.
yeah, it's a little more expensive than our current house, and
which is crazy.
right.
It's 550,000.
Right, and it's yeah, like was
For
it
a mansion.
5,000 square feet? You said, right?
I
Something
think it's like
that.
5,800.
Yeah, or 6,000 square feet. Yeah, huge. And we could easily live there with another like family and not even run into each other
Yeah.
probably.
But we'd have to find someone who wants to move to Little Falls.
Right.
And I did put out feelers.
Yeah.
I for sure did. So sadly, probably not going to happen.
Yeah, and
But-
and we heard there's an offer on it already anyway.
Yeah. But, you know, all things, we were considering moving because our mortgage is a little
Yeah,
higher than we would like.
Yeah, we want to.
But we do
Pay a
love
little bit
this
less.
area. So we might be looking at some options for like recasting our mortgage to see if we can lower our payments and just stay here because we got a good house
Yeah,
with a good skeleton out front
good bones in this house
Good
and,
bones.
and outside.
and outside the house.
Yeah. All right. Is there any more we want to talk about on that, or?
No.
Okay. I have an idea which I'm excited about talking about, and that idea is directly stolen from you last episode, which is your memes into movies podcast idea. So we briefly talked about what if John Travolta being confused was a whole movie. The idea is we take memes and try to imagine what movie, because there's going to be a Skibbity Toilet movie, right?
Right.
And it was your idea from last episode, and I think there's potential to it. And we ended up choosing a different idea last time, but I think we could talk about it more.
All right. Did you have a particular meme that you had in mind?
So I just wrote down a number of memes that I thought we could consider. We've got the "This is fine dog" meme.
Okay.
That could probably be a movie.
Okay.
The ladies pointing and yelling at the cat at a restaurant or whatever meme.
Yeah, I think that's from a reality show.
Probably,
actually,
I
but
assume
yeah.
so. I have no idea what the context is on that,
Yeah.
how it makes sense, but it's a very good meme.
Yeah.
Similarly, we could do the like old guy.
Sorry, the cat's face just popped into my head.
Cat's face is so good. There's also the meme where the old guy and the younger guy, I think maybe it's a Pawn Stars or something type show. The old guy's throwing the chair and they're arguing or whatever. or the younger guy throws the chair.
Yeah, the guy with the like handlebar
Yeah,
mustache.
the no, it's not a handlebar mustache. It's a horseshoe mustache.
Horseshoe mustache.
So there's that. There's Surprised Pikachu could maybe be a movie.
What about the groundhog?
The groundhog.
The dramatic
the
groundhog.
dramatic marmot or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bum, bum, bum. I presume that's from a show or something as well.
It is. I've seen the whole like the longer
Sequence,
clip. It's
yeah.
from some like Japanese show.
Yeah. There's the like, have you seen the one where it's like the guy that's just like blinking?
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah, blinky guy.
like the like surprised, excuse me,
like
blinking.
excuse me, what the fuck?
Yeah. There's the car salesman that's slapping the roof of a car and like, this baby can fit so many X in here. You know that meme?
No, I don't know that one.
Okay. There's Don't Talk to Me or My Son Ever Again.
It's a favorite of mine.
There's of course Doge. Could be a Doge movie. That's probably been in the works at some point.
Yeah.
There's the Velociraptor meme. Have you ever seen that?
Yes. The like thinking one.
Yeah. There's Homer Simpson receding into a bush slowly.
Yeah.
I always enjoy.
I like there was a takeoff on that one, which was with Vanjie
Oh,
going
yeah.
into the bushes. Miss Vanjie.
Yeah.
How about a
Another Drag
podcast
Race
where we
reference.
just say Miss Vanjie all the time?
Miss Vanjie.
Miss Vanjie. Miss Vanjie.
Yeah. I don't know who that would appeal to, but it wouldn't be me very much.
Miss Vanjie.
I mean, that's a funny like moment or whatever, but there's the one where the guy is like smiling kind of and has head tilted and there's a bunch of question marks around it. He's like, have you seen that one?
Yeah.
I think that's Nick Young. He might be a basketball player or something.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I don't know his name, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, so those are a bunch of memes that I thought of. I also mentioned last time a horror movie about ceiling cat watching you. Could be fun.
Yeah, so is the idea that we're going to come up with a plot?
Yeah, we're gonna like imagine how could we make this meme into a movie, right?
Right.
And maybe the meme is like a central thing that happens in the movie, or maybe the whole movie is about like, does This Is Fine Dog, like, is it a movie about how he got to a house that's on fire, or is it a dog that like every house he gets into catches fire or something, right?
Right.
Or, you know, something like that. Or Don't Talk to Me or My Son Ever Again. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that this has some legs. I do think we should decide if this is what idea we're going to talk
Yeah.
about.
Did you have any of the other ones that you particularly wanted to keep going on? What did we have?
We had reviewing houses. We had reviewing playgrounds.
We had reviewing YouTube stuff, reviewing and recommending and keeping up on YouTube drama, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Cat food reviews, cat science.
Cat science. I feel like there was another one, but I can't remember what it was.
Well, if it was a good one, maybe I'll bring it up again next week.
Yeah.
Do you do any of those memes, or what are your favorite? Do you have favorite memes you would maybe want to talk about, like how it could be made into a movie?
Well, I do like the idea of a horror movie involving a cat coming out of the ceiling.
Yeah. Ceiling cat. Do people remember the ceiling cat is watching you meme? Even I don't know.
I barely remember it, but like I remember it was creepy.
Yeah, well, it's just a cat that's like looking out from a ceiling tile type hole in the ceiling.
Is it a regular cat or is it like an undead cat?
In the meme or in the movie?
In the movie.
It might be a ghost cat or something.
Ghost
or like
cat.
a cat that like is a harbinger for something horrible, or
Or maybe like he was killed in some horrific way.
the cat
Yeah. The house was built on the graves of 7 cats.
on a pet cemetery.
Yeah, on top of a pet cemetery.
A cat graveyard.
A cat graveyard. And so the house is haunted by cats.
Okay. Did a cat get
I want to move into a house that's haunted by cats.
I mean, poltergeists already like knock your shit on the ground. It'd be so much worse.
Maybe poltergeists are all cats.
Maybe that's what poltergeists really are.
Yeah.
Is cat ghosts, I guess.
Yeah. So like we could do it in like a found footage kind of way. Like Paranormal Activity.
Or Blair Witch.
Yeah. Or Blair Witch. But I was thinking Paranormal Activity because you got like the security cameras around the house.
Oh, I haven't actually seen Paranormal Activity, but
It's just like security footage from around the house.
Right.
Strange things happening around the house. Like like you just see a glass of water slowly slide across the table.
yeah, and get knocked off.
Shoot, shoot. Like a vase of flowers in the kitchen gets knocked over.
Which
and
happened to
shatters.
us.
Yes, our neighbor brought us flowers and we put them in a lovely vase. And we were sitting in the living room talking and heard a
A crash.
giant crash. And we knew instantly what had happened.
Yeah, well, and like we redid our kitchen so that we have like a big counter. It's like 3+ feet deep, right? And I put the vase in the middle of that counter. So Goosebump definitely was like headbutting the vase for a long time to be able to get it off to fall onto the ground. You know what I mean? He was putting a lot. It wasn't just like a little swipe.
Yeah.
He like purposefully spent a fair amount of time, he must have, to knock it off. What else would cats do though as ghosts besides just knock stuff over? I guess they would probably meow at you a lot. You'd hear meows all the time. You couldn't find where it was
Okay,
coming
so let's
from.
say this family also has actual cats.
Okay.
Okay, and so the cat food keeps disappearing really quickly. Could ghost cats eat cat food?
I don't know.
Am I getting into philosophical territory here?
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking like, is that an interesting problem? You know?
There's an extra set of tracks to the litter box.
And that was where the Jesus cat was carrying you all along. Oh wait, that's the opposite of how the Jesus thing works. But anyway, you would
Yeah, you heathen.
every bathroom would have the toilet paper roll unrolled,
Oh, yeah.
even though you closed the door.
Yeah. Dude, and they keep blaming things on their actual their live cat.
Right.
Like, how does he keep getting in there
And then getting back out.
and getting back out
Yeah.
and closing the door again?
Yeah. Another angle we could
They like put the little claw caps on their cat, you know, the little like
to
caps
stop
that
them from scratching stuff.
but the couch ends up scratched up anyway. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
This is going to be like the least scary horror movie ever.
It'd just be a
It'd
really
just be,
annoying
like,
house
slightly
to live
annoying
in.
stuff.
Yeah. You can't keep a couch from getting scratched up. Our cats scratch up the walls and stuff, so I guess those cats could.
Yeah.
The cats could really wreck the house, I
Yeah.
guess. The ghost cats.
Yeah, curtains keep getting pulled down.
But you wonder why didn't they do that before?
yeah.
Right? Like,
They're like, our cat really doesn't like our new house.
yeah, I was going to say another angle we could maybe take would be like somebody moves into the house, maybe a kid or something, like a family with a kid, and the kid sees a cat looking down from the ceiling and is like, oh, a kitty lives here, and like befriends the cat, and the cat becomes the kid's friend. But then it like turns out nobody else can see the cat or something.
Okay.
And it's like a ghost cat. And
Okay.
the kid blames stuff on the cat, maybe, and nobody believes it, the kid.
The kid starts like pooping outside the litter box. And he's like, I learned it from Whiskers.
Wait, the kid is going to learn to poop on the ground from a ghost cat?
Why aren't you coming with me on this?
Yes. And that's wild.
He's a little kid talking to a cat. The cat's like,
How little? I was thinking.
scratch up that couch, kid.
I was thinking like a 10-year-old maybe or something, not like a toddler. Maybe.
Oh, it's way creepier if he's like 5 or 6.
5 or 6. I
Yeah.
still don't think 5 or 6-year-olds are going to poop on the floor. They also don't really have claws to scratch up a couch. I was thinking that the kid wasn't doing the stuff. The cat was doing the stuff, but people thought the kid was doing it somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe the kid ends up in like therapy, like, why does he keep pooping on the floor? He's like, I didn't.
Ghost poop, mommy.
But is there something to the ceiling cat? Because the meme is like ceiling cat is watching you. So is there something to like being watched by a creepy
The kid's
entity?
the kid's like asking the parents to leave the light on because he's afraid
Like
of the
the
boogie
cat,
cat.
like,
The boogie cat is
boogie
going to
cat.
get him.
Yeah. I think, maybe it's somebody who's allergic to cats. And they're like trying to get rid of this cat that they think lives in their ceiling. Maybe it's not a ghost. Maybe it's a cat that like, maybe it's like one of those, I don't know, like wacky comedies where like Mr. Bean, what's the Man versus Bee thing or whatever? Like we didn't watch that, but I assume from the trailer, it was like a guy chasing a bee around
Yeah.
for 10 episodes.
And just trying to
get rid of it and always like hurting himself instead.
yeah.
Maybe it's like that with the ceiling cat.
So it's like the cat came back.
A little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
The cat came back ends in nuclear annihilation of the whole planet. So I don't know if it would go that far.
But he like destroys the house
Yeah, he destroyed.
trying to get rid of this cat. Because
Yeah,
it's got to be a dude.
yeah,
Because like I'm sorry if it like I'm sorry to relegate all of the stupid things to men, but like it's usually men.
yeah. I mean, I could kind of imagine a certain kind of woman that would do it, but I think it's probably easier just to have it be a guy that gets obsessed.
Yeah.
Is he a dad? Is there a family? Does anyone else see this cat? Maybe it is still a ghost cat,
Yeah.
or maybe it's just a guy bought a house and there's a cat that lives in it. and
His
he can't
like
get rid
wife
of it.
leaves him because he's just
Obsessed with this cat.
Yeah.
She's like, you've destroyed our whole house trying to find a cat that I've never even seen.
She's like, so what if a cat lives in our ceiling? Just leave it alone.
Yeah.
It'll die eventually. Cats don't live that long. I mean, they live a fair amount.
They live long enough to be a problem, I guess. But like, if you're not feeding it, it's not going to stay there that long.
Yeah.
Probably. Anyway,
Unless it's a ghost.
unless it's a ghost. Maybe the guy hit and run a cat.
Yeah, I was just
He
gonna
ran over a cat and
say.
didn't do anything.
And that cat is haunting him.
And yeah, is this a comedy or just a horror movie? I don't know.
I feel like it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a horror movie. And like he finally breaks down and tells his wife what he did, but it's too late.
If it's a real horror movie, though, I feel like he has to die in the end. You know what I mean? Somehow.
Yeah.
Because it could also be a slapstick
Yeah.
comedy horror.
The cat hits him with a car.
It's Toons is the driving
Yeah.
cat.
Toots is the driving cat's revenge.
Okay. Do we want to talk about this more or do we want to consider another meme?
We can consider another meme. What do you want to do? You pick this time.
I mean, I sort of want to talk about the ladies yelling at the cat, but maybe we shouldn't have all cat-based ones.
I mean, I'm not going to complain about all cat-based ones.
What about Don't Talk to Me or My Son Ever Again? Is there a way we make that into a movie?
So my favorite meme with that one is actually a line of cats. So you haven't gotten away from cats in my head.
I'm picturing one, I think that was like wiener dogs, and like a big wiener dog and a little wiener dog, and was like, don't talk to me or my son ever again.
Yeah.
It
I
could
think
be
it was
anything,
just like
though.
a bunch of cats. They're like lined up by
Don't talk
size.
to me or my son or my son's son or
ever
my
again.
son's son.
Or my son's son.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I do like the argument one. Like, is this lady like on a blind date with this cat? Because they do look like they're at a fancy restaurant.
Yeah, but with her friend or something, right?
Yeah. She's like really upset. Like, so they're fighting because he doesn't look anything like his picture.
He said he was 6'2".
Her friend's there because like she SOS texted her friend like, this guy catfished me.
Fish catted me.
Emphasis on the cat.
To me it looks like in the meme, it looks like they're debating or something, right? Like, and the cat is like, doesn't even care about her argument or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
he's just like, he looks like he's just making a ridiculous face in response, like, oh, all right, I'm not taking you seriously.
yeah, the cat doesn't seem like it's taking her very seriously. But it seems like the cat's not supposed to be there, and she's yelling at the cat, but the cat doesn't care.
No one invited you to this debate. Who brought you dinner? I didn't know cats liked salad.
What could they be arguing about at a restaurant? I mean, I guess politics probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
They go on a date, and it turns out
so they did go on a date. She knew he was a cat.
I get maybe, or maybe she didn't know, but also they have the opposite political opinions.
The cat's a Trump supporter.
The cat lied about his political affiliation. Is the cat a Trump supporter or is she a Trump supporter?
I'd say she's a Trump supporter because cats are anarchists, right?
Right.
We've established that.
And so the cat's got some spicy anarchist political opinions about who he's voting for or
he's
not
like,
voting for.
No, they're arguing because he's like, I think you should pay for dinner. You invited me out on this date, and also I don't have pockets.
And I'm a cat, and I don't have a job.
And I don't have a job. And she's calling him a freeloader, and he's trying to explain that he didn't ask to be born on this planet and not have pockets. He certainly had no hand or paw in the creation of capitalism.
Yeah. Does the cat talk, or is it more fun if the lady's kind of carrying the whole argument herself?
She's just decided the cat doesn't agree with her.
Like the cat's like kind of being standoffish, or like the cat's just eating stuff, and she's like, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, we had such great conversations before the date, like over text. And he's just like, meow.
He's just like licking his paw or something.
And she's like, I feel like you're not listening to me. And he's like, meow.
So what we've come up with here is a like SNL skit.
Yeah.
Not a movie, really.
This is true. I mean, that's what you get when you base something off a meme, right?
Well, the ceiling cat kind of worked.
Yeah.
And I feel like the your idea last time of John Travolta being confused and he's trying to get to the grocery store or something, whatever it was, could actually be a weird movie, like like a Woody Allen movie or something,
Yeah.
you know, like a really, really tiny little odyssey.
John Travolta is afraid.
Yeah, well, we haven't seen that movie yet, but Bo is afraid. But
We should watch that.
yeah, I don't know if we're gonna like it or not, but all right. Well, is there any other meme stuff we want to talk about, or should we kind of wrap up? I guess
Miss Vanjie. Miss Vanjie.
drag race memes, I guess.
I just wanted to say Miss Vanjie again.
Oh, okay.
Miss Vanjie. Okay, I'm done.
All right. Movie about a person that always fades into the leaves. Is that anything? Is it a creepy ghost that fades into the leaves?
Like,
or is it just like a guy?
like Mr. Cellophane or something? Like, he's just a guy that's like there, but nobody ever pays attention to him. Nobody ever really sees him.
But like somebody starts noticing him in like the background of pictures or something.
Oh, okay. Okay. So he's like,
Is Mr. Cellophane a thing, or did you just make
it's
that
from
up?
Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like like a Slender Man kind of thing or something.
No, he's just a guy that's like fine. Nobody really
And
notices.
cellophane is kind of see-through and
Yeah.
you don't think about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like it's like one of those, because there's a bunch of movies about like urban legend type things, right? So maybe he's like an urban legend and somebody like starts like catching on to it or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Could we take like Broadway songs and just make them into horror things. That could be kind of fun too.
Okay.
Maybe that's an idea.
Another
for next
idea,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Does the guy that fades into the bushes or whatever, does he do anything though? Or is he just creepy? Is it like if you see him, you have 1 week to live or
You have
something?
1 week till you have to avoid playgrounds.
Playgrounds?
Yeah. Anywhere with shrubbery.
Like hedges?
Hedges. Guess you could go to playgrounds without shrubbery.
I don't particularly associate hedges with playgrounds, but okay.
don't know.
Is it somebody that is it
You go cut all your neighbor's shrubs down.
you
Don't understand, Johnson. It's a matter of life and death.
They somehow end up in a hedge maze.
Just screaming.
Yeah. All right. Well, should we wrap it up there?
Yeah. If you've enjoyed this and would like to listen to more or find more content or, write us and tell us how much you hated it, you can find all of our links on our website, coolpodcast.website. If you hated our ideas, you could send us your own ideas.
Yeah, get off your ass.
to ideas@coolpodcast.website. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook. You could subscribe to our YouTube channel. Miles makes cartoons sometimes and puts them on there. And we also upload the full podcast on there every week. And that's it. That's all I got.
Welcome to What Should Our Outro Be About? The outro where we try to figure out what this outro that you're listening to right now should be about. I'm still here.
And I'm also still here.
I have an animal fact, but do we want to talk about do you have any topics for the outro?
You always have an animal fact.
I often have animal facts, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that we should record Rory saying no.
Okay, we probably can do that and get a little note.
Yeah.
Maybe a few no's in here.
No. Okay. No.
Yeah, that'll be
Yeah,
cute.
that was my idea.
Okay. We need to have a phrase for people.
No.
You can't just be no. It's got to be more than that. And it could be anything, right? It could be any random, Sasquatch jackhammer or whatever.
Do you got one? I don't.
I said Sasquatch jackhammer. I guess it could just be
I
that.
guess it could be Sasquatch jackhammer. Sure.
Okay.
Go with Sasquatch.
jackhammer. If you post that in the comments, then you win the episode.
You might get a picture and a song.
If you're the first person that posts it.
All right.
So far, no people have posted anything, so you'll probably be the first.
Now that you've let them know at the beginning of the podcast,
Yeah, we might
they've
end up-
surely listened all the way to the end.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Do you want my animal fact?
I want your animal facts.
Okay. So there's two main kinds of fish, right? Evolutionarily speaking. There's bony fish.
Right. This thing that I know for sure.
Bony fish and like cartilaginous fish.
I
Right?
definitely knew that before you said it.
Sharks don't have bones.
Okay.
They're made of cartilage. They've got cartilage skin. They're all cartilage, basically. But
Oops, all cartilage.
yes. And bony fish have scales, right? The thing we think of as fish having scales, right? Sharks and maybe other kinds of non-bony fish, I'm not sure, but sharks have an analogous thing called dermal denticles, which is similar. They're like little overlapping things, right? But what's wild about dermal denticles is that they are teeth.
Okay.
They're not like similar to teeth. They're not like, they don't look like teeth. They are teeth.
So you're
Their
telling me
skin
that sharks are oops all teeth.
They're covered in teeth. Yeah. Their
This does not surprise me.
Skin teeth is what they have, basically. Dermal means skin and denticles means little toothy things.
So sharks are just made of teeth.
They're just all teeth. You're right. They're oops all teeth, which couldn't be more appropriate for how we imagine
right, for
sharks
how we
being.
imagine sharks.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah, that's all I got though.
So no snuggling sharks.
Yeah, if you pet sharks the wrong way, you can get cut. Their skin is like smooth in one direction and sharp in the other direction.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
A shark could probably just snuggle you to death.
Yeah, it probably would just bite you though.
Yeah, probably. More efficient.
More efficient.
All right.
All right, well, I guess that's all we got. So thank you for listening. And it was Sasquatch Jackhammer, I think is what I said.
Yep.
And so be the first to post that in the comments and you win the episode.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck. All right, thanks for listening. We're sorry and we won't do better next time.
Bye.
What was that podcast about? I'm trying to figure it out. Didn't catch what that was about.